Here we are, band's back together. Yeah. Producer dude, yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a little bit. You've been like officing and
political ads.
Yeah, he's working with all those politicians. Just so you know, he swings either way. Whoever pays, he'll do your ads.
Totally true.
He's like a lawyer.
Totally.
Guilty? Not guilty? Don't care.
Yeah.
But anyway, here we are. It's blowing. It's blowing more than what they said. Yesterday we were supposed to have 5-footers and it was literally flat calm. Today, probably not the same. Producer dude, does that make you happy?
No.
Yeah, I figured that. But at any rate, we're back in the boat. We got an early fall deal. It is like late fall, but it's early fall. And I say that because the water temperature is like almost 60 degrees. Like
November.
Middle of November. By the time you guys see this, it'll probably be towards the end of November. And it's just crazy because we're doing all different tactics. So this is gonna be kind of a neat one because when things change, you have to change with it. So if you guys are doing what you normally do in the middle of November, you're probably not doing well. So we're gonna show you some different stuff that will work this time of year because you can't really look at the calendar, you gotta fish the conditions. That's what we're gonna do today. Here we are, a little bouncy. Producer dude doesn't like that. Got some little scatter tail dancers on lead core. So we got a lot of surge because she's kind of bouncing around. So because it's only me, we're gonna kind of mix these things around her a little bit. And that lead core distributes that weight amongst the entire line. So the advantage is when it's a little bumpy, the things don't jump around as much and they tend to get more bites. Oh, and they drop things. But then we're gonna put some dipsies down too because the spoon bite has been really good. We just started, we got one. Producer dude's already been hooked 3 times though.
Yeah.
We had a jacket go down, and this is not a giant fish, but it is the first non-human that we've hooked. So basically, long story short, what we've got going on here is it's like literally the middle of November, but the water is still literally 60 degrees. So we're basically fishing almost like what we would call summer tactics because these fish are super deep. We put the fish hawk down here the last couple days, and almost literally from top to bottom, the temperature is the same. And when that happens, generally speaking, the bait and the fish are going to be pretty deep when the temperature at the top and the bottom. It's a small little keeper that pinned her up. And you know, it's just been a wacky deal. Normally we would never be doing this stuff, but that's a little Silver Streak Junior, which is the smallest spoon that they make. And that's been definitely the deal. As have dipsy divers, you know, you're just having to get that stuff down. These fish are much deeper, and that's just kind of part of the deal. That's why we've got some lead core too. And I would encourage you to watch our dipsy video, which we've gotten a lot of views on because I think we did a pretty good job of showing you some tips and tricks really broke down with the dipsies. Because like that little bugger right there, while a keeper, luckiest walleye in Lake Erie just got let go. Honestly, you barely see those. You're not even watching the tip bounce, you're just watching that line angle come up a little bit from the tip to the water. And that one, that was our deepest rod by far. Was pretty darn deep. So you really got to watch those things. You know, if you guys got buddies in the boat that are like, I can't see the bites, you know, we get that every day. Generally that guy is the one playing on his phone. So you got to kick him in the nuts, right square in the nuts, and that way he'll see a lot more bites. So we got one on, this is 4 colors here. And we're gonna kind of just trip that around because we've got another 4 color on that side, and so we're gonna sneak around it. You don't want to reel immediately. You guys have probably seen us do a little bit of this lead core fishing before, whether it was the summertime, but probably not this time of year. We've got some different crankbaits on there. We've been kind of rotating around from thunder sticks to tail dancers to some of the scatter Rapala stuff's been really good, and that's what this one was on here. And it takes about 6,000 years for the stuff to get back in because there's a lot of line out there in order to get these cranks out. But it's kind of weird, you know, a lot of days we've been catching our better fish on this versus sometimes on the spoons, but the spoons have definitely been producing more if we were trying to see, you know, how many we could get today. One thing that I notice when guys are reeling and they start reeling fast, you know, those fish will swim right with you. Like this one's got a lot of pressure right now. I try to kind of keep that rod just a little bit lower, but still keep a bend in it, because I don't want that lead getting thrown all over the place and let that fish get slack. You really don't realize what's happening because you feel all that tension. But there's definitely slack in there you don't realize. It's kind of like when you pump a rod. So one thing you probably can't see, but I've got 30-foot mono leads using P-Line CXX. And really that's just to give me a shock absorber here when they get close to the boat like they are right now. And I don't really think you need the invisibility of fluorocarbon. And that mono is going to give me a lot more of a shock absorber. So out in the net, but we've got a little video up showing kind of our lead course setup, which is nice for you because it is really kind of key, the little formula that we've got. But we're going to get this one back in because we've got fish on the screen and I got to pay attention here. Here we go. It's got to have eyes in the back of your head there. We had the diver on the other side go. It actually tripped. I got another little Silver Streak Junior on here, and this has just been a really good one. And normally that's like over with probably, you know, in October that becomes where it's maybe, it still may work but not be the best thing. But small has been the key. You know, the mini is actually a little bit bigger. It's kind of what they call the steelhead size. And that has been not very good. Catching a few fish on it, kind of mixed around yesterday, but the Junior continues to be the one. Slow and steady. Oh, I just, not slow enough. So, you know, it's tough. It's windy out here. We only got just me. And so we don't have that many rods. And in the past, you know, I really wanted to put 4 divers down because we've been catching so many fish on those. But we wanted to show you guys a little bit of everything. And so I'm running 4 boards just to kind of, you know, space them out and be able to see and tell what side I get a fish on. And that may not make sense, but long story short, you know, if one of these boards was pinned back, that doesn't necessarily really mean anything. Because if I look on the other side and the other ones are parallel, because we have like a fast side and a slow side, it wouldn't show me as much. It's just harder to kind of see what's going on. So when you got, you know, potentially little fish around, it's a little bouncy, and you got a lot of line out, having those extra lines so that you can compare on the port to the starboard really makes a difference. Because this one smoked it, but it would have been tough to tell that, especially if we were just by ourselves or had, you know, 1 rod on that side. And now we wait. Producer dude's gonna have to do like a fast forward button like 50 times here. And this thing's just swimming right with me, even though I got like 9,000 feet of line out. It is on a scatter tail dancer. Those tail dancers are just such a good bait. When they're on, they are definitely on. But again, even there, especially because it's only me in the boat, you know, while I'm trying to do this, still watching these rods because we're in them. Don't want to drag them around. So here we are. You know, patience is the key here. It's just so hard to go this slow and not go nuts, and that's one of the things. I got these Shimano TR200s, and they have a much slower ratio on them, so it makes it a little easier to be patient. And this is just a little bit better fish. He's got thick thighs, like Country Steve a couple years ago. And out in the net, fellas. That's been kind of the thing the last handful of days. You can see we've got the crankbait dangling there. And a little nicer fish. Got all kind of chunked up there. Another very lucky walleye. But so far, that 4 colors has been the deal. You know, sometimes that's the side of the boat, sometimes it's a depth thing. But actually, we kind of pulled a little bit of a no-no. Oh, diver, 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 diver. Holy diver! Producer dude says we still have 0 budget, so we can't play you any good music.
No Ronnie James Dio.
Who is it?
Ronnie James Dio.
We could have used you yesterday. We were out there, we had no internet, and we were trying to And I told my guy, I said, producer dude is a music aficionado. He knows all of those things. I do not. But, I mean, honestly, like what just happened, you know, keep your eye on the prize, because if you got the neighbor kids or your buddy out and they don't know nothing either, you, whoa, this thing's really tugging. I mean, it's a decent fish, but he is really, really fighting on me here. Oh, we got one on the other diver. Oh, we got a double diver down. So like I was saying, oh, yeah. Producer dude is definitely the music man. You guys do not, I will put him up against anybody on the music trivia except for Baba Booey from the Stern Show. He has done very good. But yeah, we got another diver fish going there. So you really got to have your head on a swivel. I think that's one of the biggest things I see guys in my boat is they just aren't paying attention. So again, Soul Silver Streaker, man, this fall that has been the deal, is these little spoons. You know, you can cover more water. We're going, you know, we're surging a lot, but anywhere, trying to get this unhooked fast so I can get to that other one, but these little spoons are the deal. Just the tiny ones, the juniors. Oh, we still got them, producer dude. We still got them. This makes producer dude very happy because we're going downwind, and regardless of what happens when we get near the bank, we're done. So I'm glad that we can hammer this out. He already said fishing report for you guys. It'll probably come out before you see this, but it's going to be done on shore because it's a little wavy. But I would like to announce that we have hooked more fish than people at this point. So there's that. Man, these fish are really pulling. It's kind of crazy. I mean, it's a decent fish, but it's just, you know, you really got to go slow. Everybody just wants to yank and crank these things in. It's just a bad deal. But I think that the theme for this, you know, today is kind of don't fish what you normally do, fish the conditions. So almost 60 degrees, again, kind of recapping, the surface and the bottom temperature are basically the same, which is really forcing these fish down. This fish is really thugging. Unbelievable. And normally, you know, this time of year, we would not fish this deep. We just wouldn't do well. This is gonna look like a clown show. But we got them. So this is another little spoon that you guys are all color freaks. This one's called Lollipop. It's a new one. Fish USA's got it, and the fish do too. It's been a really, really good one. And just obviously these fish are just chunky monkeys. Another super lucky one. We got to get some lines in the water because you can't catch them when they're all here. So that was basically a triple by myself. We executed, made it happen, and patience was the key there. And I would tell you on the lead core rods, if it's 6 to 1 to half a dozen of the other, I probably would tell you to let the lead core rod roll because you've got so much line out there. Once those things get hooked, I'm not going to say you won't lose one, but the dipsy divers, you're much more likely to either help yourself get tangled or have an issue. So, oh, we got one maybe rolling over there. You know, that's the thing here is these fish are really, really potted up. So, you know, the key to doing what we're doing is marking at speed. And producer always tells me, he's like, how do these guys not watch? We've done like 5 videos on that. You've got to get yourself in the game because once you go through one of these 10, 15-minute periods where you aren't marking much or catching much, you're thinking, oh, we got to move, we got to move. Where we already know we've got fish ahead of us here. At least they were half an hour ago when we set up. We also have a boat on the port that wants to climb over on top of us too. He saw us catch those. Maybe he just wants to meet producer dude. which we did have somebody. We had people at the dock this morning that were looking for B-Team Bob and Producer Dude. I did not hear a Country Steve in there. So it has been a while since he has been officially on camera. Maybe his star is not shining as bright. I'm not sure. Oh, there's one. No fish on 5 colors, so I pulled one in and put a 3 out, thinking, hey, maybe we're a little too deep. And I don't have the answer, but sometimes it's just, you know, you just got to keep going and doing what's working. But one of the keys to this, and we have a video specifically on this because I know you guys are going to ask in the questions, on the lead core setup and what we're doing. And we're using Suffix 832, and the reason is it gets deeper. It gets 7 feet of color at about 2 miles an hour. And so that's going to let us get to depths that we just couldn't get with other stuff, or we'd have to let even more line out. But the kind of where we switch this up though, is once we start getting probably what would traditionally be now where it's cooler, we'll go to Fish USA Stealth Core, because that's going to get less. It's got a fatter diameter of the sheath, and we want that because we're going to be going slower. Like, we can't keep going 2+ miles an hour here, you know, in the fall. And so when we have to slow the boat down to get the bites, we don't want that stuff to be on the bottom real quick. The boat next to us, now that we've had 4 and 3 minutes, they're getting closer and closer. If they were Somali pirates, I would be slightly afraid.
They're pretty close.
Yeah, well, they started way over there, but they've been watching me swinging the net like a hatchet. You know, you can't really hide much. I'm just trying to, like, survive this right now. Producer Dude's definitely trying to just survive. He is hanging on by a thread. He's looking to see how close to shore we are because he knows, like, when I start to pull the plug. But we're going to catch a few more. And honestly, when you're out here and you're going, it's not as bad. Although when you got to look through the cameras, guys, it is a little more difficult. I'll give him that. I mean, he's still a candy ass, but
I'll give you that.
B-Team Bob looking for some information. Should we give it to him? Maybe we should do a cameo on the phone and speaker when we get these fish in. Right now, I'm just trying to survive. I got that other lead core that was going out, and I kind of played a risky maneuver there. I put that other 4 color that just caught one over there on the other side, but I've got it sideways like a bottom bouncer, and I'm going to take this one over here just to try to give me a few more feet of separation so that we don't have a snafu. This one's not really a good one, I don't think. Oh, we got diver, inside diver. Woo, double down. Now, little tip here. Normally I would throw this in the rod holder and grab that one. However, I've got that other lead core over there, and that fish will wander into that one. So we got to just keep that one tight, and that's another reason I like to keep those pinned and tight. I don't want it to trip, because if that was tripped up right now and in here and it's just me, you reeling or whatever, we ain't got the neighbor, you know, we got a bad situation. We got this one trying to go in our lead core over here. Another scattered tail dancer getting naughty. Woo! If we were in a tournament, that thing would come off for sure. We got a little scattered tail dancer action. So what we're going to do real fast is we're going to hook this board up, because I was setting that one out while I was reeling that one in. Efficiency, my fellas, efficiency. Pray this one's still on. It's not. Well, that one's not a demerit, because I mean, I couldn't even, I was setting, netting, reeling, think he got off about halfway through that other one, but so I got to bring a neighbor or somebody that doesn't, you know, get seasick like producer dude. You know what I mean? All right, we needed a reeler help. That wasn't a big one, but might have come back from that other one. We had that little triple action. Really got to watch these things. You can't imagine how many times, even a 5-pound walleye, that they hit and then they just go for a ride. They won't trip you. They don't hardly ride the line action up. And you just got to go slow and watch. Watch them divers. I'm gonna show you a little setup too when we get hooked up on this one. What we're doing, I wouldn't say different, but if you guys haven't paid attention, so here's our diver setup. We've got 30-pound P-line and Durex braid. Look at that kind thing, flopped right out. Oh, Country Steve quick release. 30-pound Durex braid, which doesn't fade, guaranteed not to fade. And that's really nice because you say, well, it makes it harder to see it when it does above the water, and it makes it a lot more visible under the water, believe it or not. So we've got these little spoons. So like here's a couple I grabbed out for you. These are both silver streaks. That is a mini, it's a steelhead size, and there's a junior. This one, this size, doing way better, and also the ones with the tape, the UV tape, have been doing really, really, really good. And then we've got between 6 and 8 feet, I would say is the range you want to be on. And I'm using P-line Shinsei fluorocarbon leader, like leader material. And then we've got a #1 Lure Jensen Dipsy diver, and we got those like we like our Model Ts, black, and black. We got just a small snap on here, no swivel. Got a swivel here. You don't want to run a swivel at the spoon. You got a little VMC snap swivel above to the rod, and then we've got a little bead in there to keep the guys from grinding up the tips, because I don't know what you guys do, but you always want to wind these things right into the tip. Well, that's the little Dipsy diver setup. And yes, I always leave my clicker on, which you guys seem to really not like. Producer dude says he doesn't like it when he's editing either. However, it keeps that thing from getting let down or spinning, and I can also hear the people when they're reeling, so I leave the clickers on, never take them off. The divers, producer dude, the divers, they like the Dipsies. We didn't put 4 divers down. Like, we could definitely catch more fish, but we wanted to show you guys kind of a sampling and why it's so important if you're gonna run the boards to have them on both sides and have at least 2 on each side. We just ran out of rods because it's just me. But it really gives you another spread too, because some days you catch just a lot better fish or more fish on the lead core when it's rough. Sometimes the Dipsies just aren't as good. But the Dipsies have been catching a lot of fish. I had a guy ask me why I kind of bump the rod like that all the time. It's so warm. We just had one of the fisheries biologists in the boat this few days ago that he said these sea fleas, when you're in the 50s, they're still around. So they're almost done, but they're not done yet. Whoa, whoa. It's not the biggest one we've caught together, but it's kind of nice. Because it's another one the producer dude says we're showing a pattern and we're showing how close to the dock we are. But you gotta watch them Dipsies, man. If you don't see that initial strike, I can't stress that enough. I tell people in the boat that all the time and they just keep looking at their phone. Trying to do a couple things at once here, it's kind of the theme, and you guys are no different if you take the neighbors or kids or somebody with you, but we switched out that 5 because we just didn't get bit like we were in the 4s, and I put a 3 on and mixed it. It's kind of a bad deal for tangling and such, but what it did do is, let me know that maybe we were a little too deep there. Even though a lot of these fish are deep, there's some that are the biters that aren't so deep. So moving it up just a little bit, got us an extra bite, and helps you tell the pattern, because some of those fish, you know, as the day goes on, they're going to move up and you don't miss the whole bite then. Seen it a lot of times. Whoa! Seen it a lot of times where you know, you're content because you're catching them on whatever that lead is, and then you just stack them all at that. Well, then you get none when they get off of that a little bit. And so I kind of like to have a kind of a little safety net there and see, hey, are these fish going shallow or deeper? Because I promise you, they aren't staying the same. Another little scattered tail dancer. That's a bait you probably don't have, and you probably should. Fudge, we got a fish, producer dude. Woo! There we go. This is just so much good chaos. We got one tripped over here. This one's it's like Country Steve pre-2020 is what we got going on. It's chunky. It's chunky. All right. Oh yeah. Patience is your key here. It's really hard for me to do. I'm not a patient man. But then when they're pulling like that, you just gotta take her easy. You know, another thing you want to do is you want to pay attention. You can't really fish somebody else's program. But like that guy that's been kind of shadowing us over there, we're putting the smack down on him. We got way less rods in the water. And, you know, we're going much faster than him. So those are things, you know, if you're not getting bit, you know, you don't fish somebody else's program, but pay attention. We got a donkey on here. Oh my, and out in the net, dude! Dude! Oh, yes! We're gonna come to producer dude because he's not feeling good. He says, dude, producer dude, unzoom. Pretty nice fish. Some days on the dipsies you really get some good ones. And that's definitely our best one of the days so far that we got in the boat. Oh, we got a dipsy that just tripped. Gotta have eyes in the back of your head. We're just clearing out this lead core and we finally got bit on our 5 color. And it's hard, you know, sometimes you just gotta check them, whether it's small fish or they swim with you. If you're not catching, check it or change it. We're getting close, but scatter wraps, that's been the deal, man. They're just chewing on those things. Tail dancers have been really good. The thunder sticks have kind of cooled off a little bit. We're about to be in our diver because we've got a double. So another little donkey. Ooh. Here we go. Another one out in the net. $100 you can't do the Vulcan death grip, but little chunky monkey. These things are eating them shad. But we got no time because we got to get this other one here. This one tripped. He hit it hard enough. He tripped it, which we don't like, but Gonna have to manhandle this one. We got the net all jacked up. What do you think the odds are I get it with just grabbing it by hand with the spoons falling out in the net?
That's pretty good.
Okay. That's positive. I like the positive. Okay. Okay. I don't know. This could get ugly. I'm not going to lie to you. This could get ugly. Oh! By the skin of the skin. Well, I didn't know what happened to him, but little silver streak, another kind of broken record. Little junior, nice little walleye. With that, we're gonna head in because producer dude's gonna die. And we already caught so many, it's not gonna change anything. But seriously, pay attention to what's going on. You guys that are all fishing those loud, bigger baits. I'm not saying you're not gonna catch them, but if you wanna catch a bunch more, maybe try some of that smaller stuff. We got a whole bunch of rods in the boat. Producer dude was complaining because I took my front seat out and put a Bert's rod corral in there because we've got so many rods. Because I'm waiting for any day for this to change and it to be different. So rough one way, rough the next, but here's the end result. Fish, just catching them, don't make excuses. So make sure you check us out. We've got a podcast, don't we? We've got videos almost every week. We've got fishing reports. We've got Instagram. We've even got TikTok now.
What?
Yes!
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I just did it. Yeah, we're doing, I can't believe I'm doing it. But other than that,
So anti-TikTok.
as am I, but people say that my shenanigans will do well on TikTok. People want to see me. Apparently the youngins, that's where they're at. All old people on Instagram now. Used to be the hip kids, now they're all gone. Now it's like, AARP on Instagram. So at any rate, thanks for tuning in. Leave a comment, subscribe, help us out with the old algorithms there. Let us know what you want to see more of. And we might bring producer dude back out, or we might leave him in the office too.